Welcome to Life with Tech, where we help you take back control of your tech. I've been learning and experimenting with a knife sharpening system called the Wicked Edge, and I've been asked multiple times within its community about what database software I use. Basically, I use a piece of software made by FileMaker Pro called Bento. It's a cross-Mac platform, meaning it works on a Mac, iPad, iPhone, and can sync the data between all of them, which is very, very nice. That being said, it's very easy to use, and it definitely fits in between that needing a database running all the time, like FileMaker Pro or SQL or all the other ones. And just an Excel sheet. Everything's searchable. You could put media and everything as well. Again, here we go. Bento's made by FileMaker Pro. Their description is the leading personal database software for iPad, iPhone, and Mac. It is very easy to use. Looks like the prices are like $50 for the Mac, $5 for the iPhone, and $10 for the iPad. So I guess it can add up. It's definitely not a free solution. That being said, I mean, Excel, if that's all you need, then that's good. The reason I picked it for the Wicked Edge is the good thing about this Wicked Edge sharpener is it mounts a knife, and you could get specific angles for that knife. So it's nice to have the different angles for the different knives documented, how it's actually mounted in there. All this stuff the Wicked Edge makes very easy to do. But if you have a lot of knives, or if you're actually a blade maker, a knife maker, or maybe you're doing sharpening for someone else, friends, family, those knives could add up. And there's no reason to do extra work after the first time. So keeping track of those angles and things make it easier for you to hone that edge again later when need be. Okay, that being said, let's take a quick look at my Bento. This is a work in progress, and I've been saying that over and over again. So right in here on this left-hand side, we'll see I have my own database made right here. The Wicked Edge Notes is what I named it. And in Wicked Edge Notes, I actually have 4 different forms. My first form is called Client. I don't have anything in here, and I will show you how to add stuff in here in a little bit. But then I have one called Purchased. I figured my thinking was you could keep track of when you purchase stuff. And I have a receipt section, so I could just drag a PDF right into the receipt section, and that could I could save it for later on. So if a lot of these good knives have warranties and whatnot, and having them in one place is nice. I also included the purchase date, purchase price, the store I bought it at. And then my next form is knife information. So basically all the information about the knife itself, basically stuff you could get from their website. Again, I have an image here, so I could drag and drop an image in. And this image is used for my database up here. So I could just look at an image and, jump to it if I want. You could also change this view to a list view or whatever you like. But I like having the little images here. It makes it a little easier to jump to. And again, in here, I have a date when it was created, what the brand is, the model, the year of the knife, what kind of blade material. Not just having basic forms, but to make it easier, we could actually have drop-down lists. So you could create these lists really easy, and you could edit them really easy. So you could just hit the drop-down, pick what kind of, in this case, steel it is. The same thing with like blade type. I did a drop-down with a list of all the different blade types that I could think of. Blade length in inches, blade thickness in inches. Again, you can make this drop down too if you want. I just left it like that since I wanted to be a little more specific. And I think that would have created a really long list. Blade hardness, handle thickness, what type of locking mechanism. I have a drop down on this. I mean, there's not a ton of them. Clip carry, tip up, tip down, and so forth. I have a drop down for that. I only have a few. Closed length, overall length, weight in ounces, and then I left a little section and I can leave another note if I need to. Again, all this is basic information you could find just by going to their website. So, but it's nice having it all together. And the next form we have is the actual sharpening notes. So this is more geared towards the Wicked Edge. A lot of people I notice take close macro images of their blades, and I thought it might be nice to have like a before and after. I have not really used them that much. I don't have a real macro end lens. I have one for my iPhone, which is what I took this after one with, but I didn't grab one before. If you have a real macro lens, I think it'd be nice to document how they look. Again, you could go as crazy with this as you want or as basic. I mean, you don't need to fill everything in. That being said, the other stuff I have in here is blade orientation. Some people, when they mount their blade, they have the tip toward you or the tip away. So I put this option in here too. So tip away. Factory angles. A lot of people, when they first start out, they want to find that factory edge. I found for this knife that it was at 15. The Wicked Edge also has a ruler guide to judge where the knife is in the mount, how far forward, how far backwards. And this is done by letters. So I did a drop down of all the letters on the ruler. And again, this is so you could put it back in exactly how it was. Next is the new angles. The Wicked Edge is very good about getting those angles over again, especially if you upgrade the arms, which is what I did. So you can really dial in those angles. So again, I did 15 on the left, 15 on the right. The depth key, depending on how thick your knife is with the Wicked Edge, there's two different levels, a top level and a deeper level. So for, for big knives, or little knives. Whole left, whole right. I'm gonna get rid of that. Again, I'm new to the Wicked Edge, so this was just out the door. I haven't used it that much to know what warrants, what don't, what other things to add and take out. Another option you have in here is you could create check marks, which I thought would be nice for the different stones you use with it. Again, in here I put 100, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,600, which is all the stones I currently have, and then the straps with the micron diamond paste, which I have the 3.5 and the 500. I also put their comparable grits with me, just so I know. I do not have the other two, but they put them in there anyway, because I like to, I don't know, maybe get them later on. Again, like the other one, I left notes, so sharpening notes. Again, I'm learning and experimenting with the Wicked Edge, so I noticed when I got down to my strops that my angle was off a little bit by like 0.20 to 0.30. So I re-angled them back to 15 again and then did the stropping, and that made a huge difference for me. Basically, I don't want to say I have a mirrored edge, but it's pretty close for only going up to 6,500 grit. It was really nice. So all this being said, it's very easy, and then we could search by different ones. My kitchen knives, which I have here, I did not go that high. As you can see, I only went to like my 1000 grit, and then I only did a 5 micro damage drop. And yeah, I took some before and after pitches, but they were meant more for, like I said, a macro lens, and I didn't really have any. And again, I could jump through the information, which I didn't really have much about. And again, all this media stuff is drag and drop. On the iPad app, it's all, you could take a picture with your iPhone and then use that picture and put it right in, which is really nice. That being said, you know what? Let's take a quick jump right to the iPad and see what it looks like there. Again, this is still a work in progress. So on the iPad, this is what we're looking at. So if we go back up to the Benchmade, all 4 forms are in like one scrollable option in here, and it really goes by. You can't really set them up to exactly how you want to see it like you could on the Mac. Basically, they're just set up in a straight order in the field. So once you figure that out, you could do it nicely. So again, we're looking here. We got the brand, the model, the year, all that stuff. The blade material. If I click on this, we'll notice the drop downs in here, and we could just pick whichever one we want. Again, I'm doing this all on my iPad. I'm just mirroring the image to my computer so you could see it. The PDFs don't come up in the view like that, but if I click on it, it'll actually open up the PDF and you can see it. I'm not going to do that because my address and everything, all my information's in there. Again, the image is right there. If you click on it, you get other options too, like you can email it or change it. The before and after. Get all the grid information. If you look up at this gear on the right hand side over here, if you click the button, you'll get a sync now option. If you hit that sync now, it will search for the Bento on your desktop, and it will sync it with that. So now if you notice on the right hand side, I have all those other knives in because I haven't sunk it. I wanted to show it live first. And now you'll see if I scroll down, we have the little after picture, all the course grits and everything have the check marks next to it. And again, it's easy enough. I could just tap on the check marks. It's really easy to input stuff with the iPad, and the same thing with the iPhone, and iPod Touch as well. I mean, so if you're out and you're collecting knives from someone, or if you want to do it before, after, I mean, I don't see you doing it during your sharpening. You don't want to get stuff on your devices. Okay, that being said, let's go back to the client form here, and just show you basic stuff. So if we right click, we get a menu over here. So we can insert a text box, an image box, dividers, spacers to organize it. But up here at the top, we have new field and form. So if we click field, we get all the options for our field. So we do text, number, choice, checkbox, media. So if we just do a simple text, so we go text, and we could go create and continue, or we could just hit create, and it pops up here. So that's our box there. It adds our field to the database with the name that we named it. So and anyone could anyone could type anything they want in there. We could do the choice box. I'm just going to name it text choice. Again, we come in here, plus 456. You get the idea. We got create, and we got drop downs. And then we could, again, this doesn't really work that much on the iPad, but on the computer you can move them around. You could organize them however you want it to look. This is the media box. I'm just labeling everything text so I could delete them easy later. Again, you just drop a picture there. Let's see if I have one on my desktop. All right, I have a picture of a server over here. So if I just take it and drag and drop, the picture's in there. Very easy. And of course you could edit it by resizing it and whatnot. And if you click on it, you could actually scale the image how you want it to fit, or just fit the frame or whatever. It's very nice. Again, there's lots of fields in here you could play with. Time, date, duration, calculation. Put a phone number in. You could, just like the fields on most Apple devices, you have all the fields in there. You could even click custom for work, home, whatever, and I don't know. So yeah, you have the little magnifying glass. So if the text is a little small to see, you could just click a button and see it easy. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff you could do here. I mean, for something that you can have a lot of, I like using these choice boxes. They make things a lot easier. If you have only specific choices to pick from. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I missed. The boxes up here, I mean, all this stuff is adjustable. You can come up here and make those images bigger or smaller if you like. You do have, like I said, you have a list view. Again, if I scroll all the way to this side, I could get the brands first, and I could sort by brand or by model or year, or however you want to do it. I like the images. At first glance, and just make them a relatively decent size. The devices you have set up to sync show up here in your device section. Yeah, it's easy enough to delete stuff too. Highlight it, hit delete, highlight it, hit delete. Fairly simple. However, which is why I was naming everything with text first. Even though you hit delete there, it's still in your database as entries. So we need to come in here and delete them there too, if you're not going to need them anymore. These fields could also be used cross forms, so you could use the same field in multiple forms. Maybe you want to show the date in all of them, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you want the client information on the top of every form. Again, you could have as many forms as you want, and they're all one entry. So for every entry, all these forms are changing for me. All right, guys. I hope this clears some things up on Bento, on the Wicked Edge, on on the database I'm using to keep track of my knives, which is still a work in progress. By all means, this is not done. But then again, I mean, I am not a knife maker, but I am not a knife maker by living, so it probably will not be as good as some other people's. That being said, if anyone does want this, these are easy. All these forms and everything is considered a template, and I can export the whole thing as a template. And that being said, other people could import them. So if you're interested in this template of what I have currently, check out my site, lifewithtech.net, and shoot me a message or an email. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Again, I hope this helps some of you. Take care.